Hey everybody, this is our video for Friday, May 8th. First of all, a reminder that the challenge for the week is to cook dinner for your family. So if you send me a picture of the dinner you make for your family by noon on Monday, I will enter you into the contest. I will send out on Wednesday like a slideshow like I did for the cupcakes, and you guys can vote on your favorites. I am making dinner for my family tonight, so maybe I'll enter. You guys won't know who is who, so that'll be fun. I won't win the $5. I'll make sure somebody else wins. But, so yeah, that's what's coming up. I won't win anyway because I'm not a cook. We'll see if I start a fire. You never know. But anyway, I also wanted to explain how next week is working because it is different. Next week, the homework is due on Friday. So I am going to post everything for the week on Monday. It'll all be up there. Any videos, any worksheets, everything will be ready to go Monday morning at 7 a.m. is when I have where I can schedule things and it'll automatically pop up for me. So I will schedule all of it to go up at 7 a.m. on Monday. You will have everything you need to do for the whole week. My suggestion, just get it done, send it in, and then you're done. Don't forget, for high schoolers, you have a book report that's due on Friday, so make sure you get that done. And you guys have had since January, so I shouldn't be hearing like, well, I didn't know about it. Seriously. So anyway, that's my little, So yeah, I hope that you guys are excited about summer. Hopefully when this is all over, like this summer, we'll get to go out and kind of at least enjoy the summer some. Hopefully you guys get to spend a lot of time outside and just enjoy it. Hopefully the weather gets warmer, as it's pretty cold today. This is Thursday I'm filming it, but I know on Friday it's supposed to get pretty chilly, so kind of crazy. We're supposed to have, like, remember how we had that polar vortex last winter and it was freezing cold? We're supposed to have that again tomorrow, but it's just not going to get as cold. It's going to be chilly, though. So, all right, so it is Friday, and Friday is podcast day, so I do that history or his story podcast. Remember, if you really like these podcasts, you can always go and listen to them. I do not give you as much detail as they do on their podcast. Dang, I had a picture for you guys when we're all done, and I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, so yeah, there's a couple of these guys who are in here who are crazy, and so I found some pictures so you guys could see what they look like because they're nuts. But I won't show you till the end, so that way you don't know who is real and who is fake until the end. So this week's, I kind of gave you a little preview, I think earlier this week, is about people who actually ran for president. Now, the thing, remember, you have to know about presidents, and we talk about this in 8th grade, and hopefully you guys remember this if you're in high school, but you have to be 35, you have to have lived in the United States for 14 years, you have to also be born in the United States. And the other thing that we don't usually talk about is that you actually have to have enough, votes in a state to be on the ballot, if that makes sense. You have to have enough people, willing to vote for you to even be on the ballot. And so a lot of these guys got on the ballot in their home state and didn't really get on anywhere else. So here are the 3 story titles. They're kind of long just because I really don't know anything about these people because, trust me, they're crazy. Okay, so here are the 3. This is story number 1's title. Homer Tomlinson thinks taxation is of the devil. Story 2, Ben Beeman wants your vote and your livestock. And then story number 3, Vermin Supreme wants to ride his pony straight to the White House. Yep, you heard all of those. Homer Tomlinson thinks taxation is of the devil. Ben Beeman wants your vote and your livestock. And then Vermin Supreme wants to ride his pony straight to the White House. Those are, 2 of those stories are absolutely true, which is insane. So anyway, by the way, none of these guys have gotten, major votes. So that's probably why we haven't heard of them. Because, yeah, I have never heard of any of these people. So that's why I had to take more notes because I don't know any of them. Okay, so we're going to start with story number 1. Homer Tomlinson thinks taxation is of the devil. First of all, one of the background things you need to know is a theocracy is a government that is ruled by religion. And hopefully you guys remember that our country is founded that religion is not required. You do not have to have a specific religion. You don't even have to have a religion at all. It's mainly because in England they required you to pay taxes to a specific church, and so they didn't want to require that here. So that is why. So our country was formed not to be a theocracy. Now, that has not stopped people from trying to make it into a theocracy, and one of those people is Homer Tomlinson. He was a member of the Church of God of Prophecy, and his father actually ran a church, and he thought that his father had invented a church. I didn't write the name of that church down, but he thought he would take that church over, but they actually went past him and chose his brother, who was younger. They said that the Holy Spirit led them, but he always felt like his father chose. And so he was obviously upset. So he decided to start his new branch, which is the Church of the God of Prophecy. And the problem is, though, this church kind of has a chip on its shoulder. And so in 1952, Homer Tomlinson makes himself, the head bishop. And he also founded the Theocratic Party. He decides to run for president, and he runs 5 different times. He was unsuccessful on getting on the ballot, except for his home state, which is Indiana. His platform was get rid of taxation, and instead of taxing people, they have to pay a tithe to the government. So you know how we're supposed to tithe to the church? He says we just tithe to the government. He says give the 10% instead from the church to the government. So he also had, in some of his party platforms, he had extra cabinet members. One of them was the Secretary of Righteousness, and one of them was the Secretary of the Holy Bible. So there you go. He lost 3 different elections, and he decides to go on a spiritual journey. While on this spiritual journey, he elected himself King of the world and King of all nations of men. And he started wearing this like purple gown. He lost again in 1964. Obviously, we don't have him as president. And then he ended up dying when he was running in 68. So there is some information on Homer Tomlinson. All right, then story number 2 is Ben Beeman wants your vote and your livestock. Just a little background, there was the American agricultural movement. In 1977, there were a lot of issues with small farms, like farmers who run these smaller farms instead of the big companies. There was a huge recession late in the 1970s, and farmers were struggling. Back in the 1930s, the government had set up help for farmers. They gave them, like extra taxes and stuff like that to try to and help. And they also set like a price for certain agricultural products. And so in the 70s, farmers thought that they were going to die out if the government didn't step in and help. And that led to the formation of the American agricultural movement. Farmers marched on the Capitol 3 different years in a row. I think it was like 77, 78, and 79, or 76, 78, 79. That wasn't even right. 76, 77, 78. Sorry. I can't do math. All right. So anyway, and what they do is they actually march on the Capitol with their tractors. So they use their tractors to go down in the Capitol. They wanted the government to set prices and raise those prices, and they also wanted them to ensure that farmers would make a certain amount of money every year, especially these smaller farms. So Ben Beeman was a farmer of one of these smaller farms, and he becomes the president of the American agricultural movement. And then in 1982, he runs for president. And he runs under the Populist Party. And he actually resurrects this party. It was a farmer's party before, and he kind of brings it back again. His platform was raise price for farmers, also tax credits for farmers. And then this is the crazy one. He had a requirement of a livestock donation, and you're like, what does that mean? So if you are not a farmer, you had to either give money equal to the amount of livestock, or you had to give an animal relative to your tax bracket. So you had to donate like livestock or money to a local farmer. And he did make the ballot in 1 state, and he made only 900 votes. So that is Ben Beeman. And I forgot to write down what state he made for. Okay. This last story is Vermin Supreme wants to ride his pony straight to the White House. So Vermin, I spelled his name wrong apparently, but that's okay. I probably spelled all their names wrong because I don't know exactly how to spell them because I'm listening to it. But anyway, so Vermin Supreme wants to ride his pony straight to the White House. first of all, his full name is Vermin Love Supreme. That is not his real name. Like, his parents didn't name him that. He changed his name. He was a performer who later became a candidate. He has run every election since 2004. He is running again in 2020. He has actually run in all parties. He's ran as a Democrat, a Republican, independent, and there was another party. I think I have it written down somewhere. A Libertarian. He runs as an anti-state, anti-war, pretty much anti-government. He says he's an anarchist with responsibility. He, in one election, got like 149 votes. So you can see he's very popular. And in 2012, he ran for a new party, the Free Pony Party. He promised if he became president, he would give everyone a pony. Yep, every American citizen would get a pony. His running mate was a guy named Jimmy McMillan. He was actually the founder of the Rent is Too High party. In 2016, he ran as a Libertarian. He even went to the Libertarian convention, and he did get a couple votes. Obviously not enough to become, like, on a ballot or anything. He does wear a boot, which is like a galosh on his head. He carries... When he goes to his different places, when he's giving his speeches, he carries a giant toothbrush. So here are the things he's running on. First of all, he wants a law that you must brush your teeth. That's why he's carrying a big toothbrush. He also is promising to devote research to fund time travel, because when he does this time travel, he wants to go back in time to kill Hitler. That's literally what he puts on his thing, what he says. He also wants every American to have access to zombie apocalypse training. And he also believes that when he's elected, he will get free ponies and give them to every single United States citizen. And one of, like, on his thing, it says, ride ponies to a zombie-powered future. And so that is the story number 3. These are actually not as long as I thought they would be, which is good. Okay, so story 1, Homer Tomlinson thinks taxation is of the devil. Story 2, Ben Beeman wants your vote and your livestock. And then story 3, Vermin Supreme rides his pony straight to the White House. So, I want you to stop for a minute and think about which one you want to choose. I do have some pictures of some of the true ones. If there is a picture. I'm not going to show you till we're done. So, okay. Like, I found pictures of the people who are real. Or the person who's real. Maybe there's not a picture of 2 of them. I don't know. So, anyway. So, let's go with story number 3. No, story number 1. I'm reading these wrong. Story number 1. Homer Tomlinson thinks taxation is of the devil. That story is true. And I have a picture of him with his crown. Like, he literally went around and wore a crown. This is a picture of him from 1959. You can see him wearing a crown after he crowned himself king of the world. Can you guys see that? Yep. Crazy. Okay. So then we have stories 2 and 3 left. Ben Beeman wants your vote and your livestock. Or Vermin Supreme wants to ride his pony straight to the White House. And the story that is false is Ben Beeman wants your vote and your livestock. That is not a true story. There was, though, farmers that rode into the Capitol using their tractors. That did happen. That's the only part of the story that did happen. And so, Vermin Supreme, absolutely true, which you might have figured out because I said I spelled his name wrong. Esme. What did you do? Sorry, my dog's being naughty and she's not usually that bad. Hey, get over here. Anyway, sorry. I think she just got into something she shouldn't have. So, she's gonna be in trouble. But anyway, so Vermin Supreme is absolutely true. And I have a picture of him with the boot. I could not find a picture of him with the toothbrush from what I saw. But here is a picture of Vermin Supreme. He is running in 2020, so there's somebody you can vote for. Not really, because he won't be on our ballot. Yeah, let me see if I can find one of him with his toothbrush. He's crazy. Oh, I found it. He's got his boot and his toothbrush. Okay, so here it says long shot candidates look beyond New Hampshire. Oh, okay. There's an ad that keeps popping up. Okay, so here's a picture of him with his lovely toothbrush. He has nice teeth, actually. So there's the big toothbrush and his boot. There you go. Vermin's brim is true. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying these stories. Tell me, like, do you want me to continue these for the month of May? I can, but I won't if you guys aren't enjoying them. So let me know. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. I will see you back here next week. If you guys don't want me to continue, like if you don't really care, I will just do one more next week and that'll be it. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay warm because it's supposed to be chilly. And don't forget, send me your challenge pictures. I'm excited to see what food you make for your families. So yeah, have a great weekend. Bye.